They didn't come to hear Muhammad Ali. They came to break him. The room was tense. Voices were raised. Every accusation was sharper than the last. They wanted Ali angry. They wanted him defensive. They wanted him to fight. But Ali did something no one expected. He stayed silent, then asked one question. And in that moment, the loudest room in the building fell completely quiet. This isn't a story about boxing. It's a story about power, patience, and unshakable strength. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the strongest response is often the calmest one. When Muhammad Ali was attacked, the most shocking thing wasn't what he said, it was what he didn't say. In a room filled with raised voices and sharp accusations, Ali chose silence. Not because he was unsure, not because he was afraid, but because he understood something most people never learn. Silence creates pressure. When you react immediately, you give your opponent control. You let their anger set the pace, their emotion decide the direction. Ali refused to play that game. He stayed still. He listened. He allowed the noise to burn itself out. Silence does something powerful. It forces the other side to fill the space. And when people keep talking, they often reveal their insecurity, their weak logic, or their hidden motives. The accuser began to talk more, explain more, push harder. With every extra word, their argument lost strength. Ali's silence wasn't passive. It was intentional. It was disciplined. It was strategic. True confidence doesn't rush to defend itself. It understands that truth doesn't need instant protection. When you know who you are, you don't panic when misunderstood. You let time and calm do the work. In everyday life, we're taught to respond quickly to prove, justify, explain. But Ali shows us another way. Sometimes the strongest move is to pause, to breathe, to let silence speak before you do. Because silence, when chosen not forced, becomes a mirror. And many people are not ready to face what they see reflected back at them. Let people finish, they will tell on themselves. Muhammad Ali understood a truth that most arguments try to hide. People reveal who they are when you give them enough space to talk. When the accuser went after him, Ali didn't interrupt. He didn't jump in to correct facts or defend his name. He let the words keep coming. Accusation after accusation. Assumption after assumption. And with every sentence, something important happened. The attack began to weaken. Most people believe cutting someone off shows strength. In reality, it often shows fear. Ali showed the opposite. By listening calmly, he removed urgency from the moment. The accuser had nowhere to push except forward, and forward led to over-explanation. Over time, emotion replaced logic. Repetition replaced clarity. What started as confidence slowly turned into desperation. The more they spoke, the more obvious it became that their argument rested on noise, not truth. Ali knew that if you interrupt someone, you help them, you sharpen their point. But if you let them speak long enough, they often do the damage themselves. Their contradictions surface. Their anger shows. Their insecurity becomes visible to everyone watching. This lesson goes beyond public debates. In daily life, in meetings, conflicts, or personal arguments, patience is power. When you listen fully, you gather information, you see patterns, you understand motives. Ali wasn't silent because he had nothing to say. He was silent because he knew timing matters. By letting the accuser finish, he ensured that when he finally spoke, his words would land with undeniable force. You don't win by reacting. You win by controlling the frame. Muhammad Ali understood that the real battle wasn't in the insults it was in who controlled the moment. His accusers tried to drag him into their emotional storm. They wanted him defensive, rushed, and reactive. Because once you react on their terms, you've already lost control. Ali refused to take the bait. By staying calm, he slowed the entire room down. He changed the rhythm. While others were loud and aggressive, he was measured and composed. That contrast alone shifted attention. People stopped listening to the noise and started watching Ali. This is what it means to control the frame. Instead of answering accusations directly, Ali let the situation breathe. He positioned himself not as someone on trial, but as someone confident enough to observe. The power dynamic flipped suddenly. The accuser looked like they were trying too hard, while Ali looked unshakable. Reaction gives energy to the attacker. Control drains it. When you react emotionally, you validate the attack. When you stay centered, you force the other side to justify their aggression. Ali waited, and when he finally spoke, he didn't defend, he reframed. With one well-placed question, he redirected the entire conversation. The focus moved away from attacking him and onto the weakness of the accusation itself. This lesson applies everywhere. Arguments, negotiations, criticism, even online attacks. The person who controls their emotions controls the narrative. And the one who controls the narrative wins without raising their voice. Ali didn't overpower them. He outpositioned them, asked questions instead of making statements. Muhammad Ali knew that statements invite resistance, but questions invite reflection. When people make accusations, they are prepared to argue. They expect denial, justification, or counterattacks. What they are not prepared for is a question they can't answer. Ali didn't respond with a speech. He didn't list facts or defend his reputation. Instead, he asked a single, carefully chosen question. And in that moment, the pressure shifted. A statement puts you on a fence, and a fence creates conflict. A question, however, forces the other person to think. It exposes gaps in logic without sounding aggressive. It turns the spotlight away from you and onto the foundation of their claim. Ali's question was powerful because it was calm and fair. It wasn't meant to embarrass. It was meant to clarify. And clarity is dangerous to weak arguments. Once the question was asked, the accuser had two options: answer honestly or avoid it. Either way, the truth surfaced. Questions slow people down. They break emotional momentum. They require reasoning instead of reaction. In heated moments, that shift alone can change everything. In everyday life, this lesson is invaluable. When criticized unfairly, resist the urge to explain yourself immediately. Ask a thoughtful question instead. Let the other person carry the burden of proof. Ali proved that the smartest response isn't louder words, it's the right question at the right moment. Dignity is stronger than dominance. Muhammad Ali had every reason and every ability to dominate the moment. He was quick with words, fearless under pressure, and legendary for humiliating opponents long before the first punch was thrown. If anyone could have verbally destroyed his accuser, it was Ali. But that day, he chose something far more powerful than dominance. He chose dignity. Dominance seeks to overpower. It aims to win by making the other person smaller, weaker, or embarrassed. Dignity does the opposite. It stands firm without needing to push anyone down. Ali understood that true strength doesn't need to prove itself through humiliation. When attacked, many people believe the only options are submission or aggression. Ali rejected both. He didn't bow, and he didn't strike back. He remained calm, respectful, and controlled, not because he lacked fire, but because he had mastered it. By refusing to belittle his accuser, Ali changed the moral balance of the room. The aggressor appeared desperate and hostile. Ali appeared grounded and confident. Without raising his voice, he made one thing clear: I don't need to disrespect you to stand my ground. This kind of dignity is rare because it requires deep self-assurance. You can only afford to be dignified when you are secure in who you are. Insecurity demands dominance. Confidence allows restraint. Ali also understood the long game. Dominance might win a moment, but dignity builds a legacy. A sharp insult is remembered for seconds. A calm, principled response is remembered for decades. Ali wasn't just protecting himself, he was protecting the meaning of his name. There's also a quiet leadership in dignity. People watching the exchange didn't just hear Ali, they felt his presence. His composure gave others permission to breathe, to think, to step out of the emotional chaos. In that sense, dignity doesn't just defend the self, it stabilizes the room. In our daily lives, we face smaller versions of this same test: a harsh comment at work, a public misunderstanding, an online attack meant to provoke. The easy path is to strike back and feel temporarily powerful, but that power fades quickly, often leaving regret behind. Dignity, on the other hand, compounds. It earns respect even from those who disagree with you. It disarms critics because it denies them the reaction they seek. And most importantly, it allows you to walk away without losing yourself. Muhammad Ali showed that dominance tries to win over others, while dignity wins over time. One shouts, the other stands. And in the end, it was dignity, not volume, not aggression, that made Ali unforgettable. Time is on the side of truth. Muhammad Ali understood something that only experience teaches. Truth does not panic. Lies rush. Ego rushes. Fear rushes. But truth is patient because it knows it doesn't need to escape. When Ali was attacked, there was pressure to respond immediately. The room was tense. Eyes were watching. Silence felt uncomfortable. In moments like these, most people feel forced to explain themselves right away, as if delay equals guilt. Ali rejected that illusion. He trusted time. Ali knew that if what he stood for was real, it would hold up under scrutiny. He didn't need to defend himself in fragments or rush into emotional explanations. He allowed the moment to unfold naturally, confident that the longer the situation lasted, the clearer the truth would become. Time exposes cracks in false narratives. Accusations often sound strong at first, but without substance, they weaken the longer they're examined. Emotion burns fast, but it can't sustain itself. By slowing the pace, Ali let the intensity drain away. What remained was logic, and logic favored him. This patience requires courage. Waiting feels risky because it means surrendering immediate control. But Ali understood that short-term discomfort is often the price of long-term clarity. He was willing to sit in tension rather than sacrifice truth for quick relief. History proves him right. Many of the accusations Ali faced during his life were loud, popular, and widely accepted in their moment. But time re-examined them. Time added context. Time revealed integrity. And what once looked controversial began to look courageous. This is a powerful lesson for everyday life. In arguments, careers, and personal relationships, we're often tempted to force outcomes quickly, to correct perceptions immediately, to defend ourselves before we fully understood the situation. But rushed responses often create permanent damage. Time allows facts to surface. It gives emotions a chance to settle. It separates genuine criticism from temporary outrage. When you act too fast, you lock yourself into the heat of the moment. When you allow time, you give truth room to breathe. Ali's calm wasn't passivity. It was trust. Trust in his values, trust in his choices, and trust that truth doesn't need constant maintenance. It only needs consistency. The world eventually catches up to reality. The question is whether you can stay steady long enough for it to happen. Muhammad Ali did. He let time do what it always does best, reveal what is real and discard what is not. Strength isn't loud, it's certain. Muhammad Ali lived in a world that equated strength with noise. The loudest voice in the room was assumed to be the strongest. The angriest response was mistaken for courage. Power, people believed, had to announce itself. Ali proved otherwise. When he was attacked, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't lean forward. He didn't harden his expression to look intimidating. He remained still, composed, and certain. And that certainty carried more weight than any outburst ever could. Certainty is quiet because it has nothing to prove. When you truly believe in your position, you don't need to shout it into existence. You don't need validation from the room. Your confidence isn't borrowed from applause or approval. It comes from alignment with your values. Ali's presence communicated something powerful before he ever spoke. I know who I am. That knowledge anchored him. While others relied on volume to create authority, Ali relied on inner conviction. And conviction, unlike anger, does not shake under pressure. Loudness often masks insecurity. People raise their voices when they fear being ignored, dismissed, or exposed. Noise becomes armor, but armor is heavy, and over time, it reveals weakness. Certainty, on the other hand, is light. It allows you to stand upright, breathe freely, and respond thoughtfully. This is why Ali's calm unsettled his accusers. They expected resistance, not resolve. They expected fear, not clarity. His composure disrupted their expectations and stripped their tactics of power. The louder they became, the more composed he appeared, and the contrast was undeniable. Certainty also reshapes perception. Observers instinctively trust the person who appears grounded. Calmness signals control. Stillness suggests depth. In moments of conflict, people look for stability, and certainty provides it without effort. In daily life, this lesson is transformative. We are constantly pressured to perform strength, to defend, justify, announce, and prove. Social media rewards outrage. Arguments reward dominance. But lasting respect is earned differently. When you respond calmly to criticism, people listen more closely. When you don't chase approval, it comes naturally. When you remain steady under pressure, others begin to question their own reactions. Certainty doesn't mean silence forever. It means speaking when your words matter. It means choosing responses instead of reactions. It means trusting that your actions will speak louder than your voice ever could. Muhammad Ali didn't silence the room by overpowering it. He silenced it by standing firmly in his truth. No shouting, no threats, no force, just certainty. And that kind of strength doesn't echo loudly in the moment. It echoes forever. Muhammad Ali didn't win that moment with fists. He didn't win it with volume. He didn't even win it with words. He won it with certainty. While others shouted, he stood still. While others accused, he asked one question. And in that silence, the truth spoke louder than any argument ever could. So the next time the world challenges you, don't rush. Don't react. Don't fight the noise with more noise. Pause. Breathe. Choose clarity over chaos. Because real strength doesn't announce itself. It waits and lets the world catch up.